and I appreciate you joining me. And I want to hit a 3 points right now because I want to get more and more active and more comfortable coming at you. I'm podcasting live from Calhoun Central. If you haven't subscribed to Calhoun Leadership Group, please bear with us. We've been working to get everything to flow good. But I want to make 3 points, and I'm off of here for a minute. See, if you want to stay average, don't listen to me. If you want to stay average, don't listen to me. However, if you want to stay average, you can listen to me, but it's hard to listen to me and not want to change. Point number one is that you must be aware of the change. There must be an awareness of your change. I came to an awareness of my change many years ago, and I wanted different results. I wanted different results. You can't change what you refuse to confront. You got to confront yourself. That's why I like to give that example of me looking in the mirror because I confronted myself. Growth begins with an honest self-esteem. If you're happy where you're at, you're happy with what's going on in your life, then listen, I don't have no problem with that. But here's a quote that I think you would like by Carl Jung. Quote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it faith. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it would direct your life and you would call it faith. You know, faith just dealt me this. You know, if God wanted me this, he'd do this, he'd do that. I didn't hear everything. I've been around a long time. I've been married over 50 years. I've been in business over, about 45 years, I believe it is now that I've started my first business ago. So in other words, I've been through the ups and downs and there are still challenges, but there must be an awareness that will precede change. In other words, you must become aware that you want to change and you're determined to change. I talk to so many people that say they want to change. I hire them in my jobs in our employment, and they come in on fire. I want to change. I want to change. I want to do something different. I'm 30 years old. I ain't got nothing. I'm 40 years old. I ain't got nothing. And 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 of course, if they're saying that, I got to take up for the truth until I find out that it's a lie. And listen, I'm not being derogatory about anybody, not on purpose. That's just what had happened over the years. I wanted to make a change. I looked in the mirror and got mad at myself, and I wanted to make a change, and I did. And if I did it, you can do it. Awareness precedes change. Point number two, as I move, small decisions create big transformation. Small decisions create big transformation. That's why I'm the transformation coach, because I can coach you to transform it. Now, the thing about it, if I share with you something and I humbly instruct you that this works and instruct you to do it, and you don't do it, that's your fault. You can't come back later and say, well, you know, it didn't work for me. No, you didn't work for it. Lasting change is rarely one big moment. You don't go to sleep one night and wake up and, whoa, it's a big moment. It's a daily discipline choice. In my D7 steps to transformation, that's not THE7, not D7, it's D. ABC D7 steps. Each step starts with a D. In it, number 5 is discipline. Number 5 is discipline. And if you visit some of my sites, you can get that information. If not, send me an email, a text, or whatever, and I send you out the D7 steps to transformation. Lasting change is rarely one big moment. It's daily discipline choices. Daily discipline choices. Aristotle, who happened to be an old scholar from way back in the day, he said this, quote, we are what we repeatedly do. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. I like that. Excellence is not an act, not an overnight thing, but a habit. We're going to have to create some habits that's not like the habits we already have. See, you already have some habits. The habits that you have already have you where you are. Whatever you're making per year, or if you're not making much, if you're making a lot, those habits have gotten you there. If you want to double your income, if you want to increase, those habits have to be changed. They have to be changed. So number one, awareness precedes change. Number two, small decisions create big transformation. Point three, as I go forward, change requires letting go of who you were. See, I had to let go of who I were. Once upon a time, I was drug addicted, alcoholic, running the streets, thought I was having fun, enjoying life, doing things that was not pleasing in the creator's sight. And change requires letting go of who you were. So I had to let go of who I was to become what I am. And I must let go of who I am now to become what God wants me to become. It's all about transforming and change. And change is not easy. If change was easy, everybody would have it. If success was easy, everybody would have it. It's amazing how when there's a need for something, and where I'm at now, I have large needs. I have people that envy me and jealous of me and talk about me and lie on me and stuff. But watch this. Before I give you my final third quote, and it's a good one, I want to share this with you. Len Griffin, my first millionaire mentor, he told me, C. Ray, as he was training me, he told me, he said, when you become successful, because back then I wasn't, he said, you're going to win false friends and true enemies. And back then, when he told me that, I pondered on it that night as I was studying some of the material he had given me, listened to some of the cassettes that I had purchased. I paused and thought about that. I'm going to win false friends and true enemies. Now I know exactly what he means. I know exactly what he means. He was on it. I call that hitting the nail on the head, because I have won false friends. They come at you like they're friends, but they false, and true enemies, folks that's my enemy, and they let me know. And I listen, I can appreciate an enemy that lets me know. It's the false friends that's really, I have to keep an eye on them. You cannot step into a new future while clinging to an old identity. My new book number 6, that says you have the power. You need to go to Amazon and purchase that. It tells you about your identity and aligning with the creator and aligning with the things that he has designed in the universe to bring you an abundant life. He was the one that said he came to give me life and give me more abundant life, more abundant living. Most people that work on jobs, and certainly those that don't, most people that work on jobs, they just existed. They don't have any money saved. They better not miss 3 months for sickness or whatever. They'll lose just about everything they have. And that's not a put down. It's a bringing to an awareness. I was there once upon a time. I was there once upon a time. And if I change, you can change. Let me give you this final quote. And this is a quote unknown. Nobody has really been given the credit for this quote. Quote, your new life will cost you your old one, end quote. That's a good one. Your new life will cost you your old one. If you can appreciate what I'm going to be sharing, and I'm going to be working on doing this pretty much regularly, go to Calhoun Leadership Group on YouTube, subscribe, and put and click the notification so you'll know when I'm going live. And I want you to understand something, that if you really desire, you can win in life. Bye-bye. See you next time.